Hello friends, today our topic is Python NumPy array, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about array, and we will see that how we can create array in Python programming language. Array is basically collection of homogeneous data elements, and different operation can be performed over array. So we'll see that using NumPy library we can create an array. So in this lecture our main function is to create one-dimensional array using different functions supported by Python NumPy library. So let's start. What is array? So an array is a structure that contains a group of elements, and typically these elements are all of the same data type, such as an integer or a string. Okay, and what is NumPy? NumPy stands for numerical Python, and it is a library, or we can say that NumPy is a Python package. So NumPy is a Python package, or we can say that uh, it is a Python library, which is a collection of different functions which are related to numerical calculations, or which are related to basically creation of an array and use of array. So operations using NumPy, some operations which can be used on NumPy, mathematical and logical operation we can apply using NumPy. Second is operation related to linear algebra are also applied on NumPy, and NumPy has inbuilt functions for linear algebra and random number generation. Okay, so now second question is how we can use NumPy as a library in our program. So for this purpose you have to write import NumPy. Import is a keyword and NumPy is a library. After this you are able to access all the functions related to Python NumPy library. You can also write it as import NumPy as NP, where NP is another name of NumPy, or we can say that NumPy is renamed as NP. So if you want to use any function in our program related to NumPy, we use NP in place of NumPy. Next, there are basically two types of NumPy array: one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. Okay, these are the examples of one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. And one more important thing, that row is called axis 0 and column is called axis 1. Rank. Next topic is rank. The rank of an ND array tells about how many axes does it have. For example, this is a two-dimensional array and it has two axes, x-axis and y-axis, or we can say that axis 0 or axis 1. So we can say that rank of this array is 2. Okay. Next is shape. The shape of an array is a tuple of integer giving the size of the array along each dimensions. So basically the shape of an array is a tuple of integers giving the size of the array along each direction. Now we can also reshape an array into an one-dimensional array into two-dimensional array, like that. There is a function named reshape. So here one more important thing, if you want to use a function related to a library, in this case it is a NP. NP basically stands for NumPy. Then first of all we have to write NP, after that put dot operator sign, and then name of the function. Name of the function is reshape, and then we can pass parameter inside it. Okay, so as you can see here that we just pass the value x. X is the name of the array, one-dimensional array, and 3 to means 3 comma 2. It simply means that 3 rows and 2 columns. So basically this one-dimensional array is converted into two-dimensional array which has 3 rows and 2 columns. So these are the different arrays. In this you can easily see that this is axis 0. Okay, and shape of this one-dimensional array is 4. Now this is a two-dimensional array. Again, in this shape is 2 comma 3 because 2 rows are there and 3 columns are there. Okay, next is a three-dimensional array in which there are three axes, axis 0, axis 1 and axis 2, and shape is 4 comma 3 comma 2 because 4 rows along axis 0 there are 4 rows, along axis 1 there are 3 columns, and along axis 2 there are 2 columns. Next is data types. So as far as the data types of the NumPy array are concerned, different data types are here: int 8, int 16, int 32 and int 64. Okay, so these are the different integer data types. Next, as far as float is concerned, for float these are float 16, float 32, float 64, etc. For complex number there is a data type np complex 64 for single precision and np dot complex 128. Here always remember that np stands for NumPy array. For boolean it is bool 8 and default data type is float 64. This is a very important question. The default data type of NumPy array is float 64. And the data type and the item size are related. The item size is as per the data type. For data type int 16 means 16-bit integer, the item size is 2 bytes. 2 bytes means 16-bit because 1 byte is equal to 8-bit. Now this is a small program here related to Python NumPy. You can easily see here. First of all, we have to write import NumPy as NP. This is an essential line because we want to use NumPy as a library. So first of all, just write import NumPy as NP. You can just write it as import NumPy, but if you want to rename NumPy as NP, then you can write import NumPy as NP. So wherever you want to use NumPy as a library, you have to use NP in place of NumPy. Next, there is a list. List contains different data items. Next is a tuple. Tuple is also contain different data items. Okay, next is a string. There is a string named APS Varanasi. Now if you want to convert these list, tuple and string into array, then there is a function named array. Okay, so we just pass this list, tuple or string as a parameter value inside this array function, and this will be converted into an array. For example, you can easily see here a1 is equal to np.array list. So this list is converted to an array, and in second line a2 is equal to np.array tuple. So tuple is converted into an array. Next is a3 np.array string. So string is converted to an array. Okay, and a4 np.array, here I just convert a list into an array but also define data type of it, and data type is float 16. So you can define data type of an array also. Now if you just print list, then just give the list, just give the print statement regarding the list. So list will be printed, and if you want to print array regarding to the list, then just write print a1 because a1 is the name of the array, which basically convert list into an array. Okay, and after this you can easily see that tuple is printed, and the array array which is basically converted by a tuple. A2 basically is a array which is converted into an array using a tuple. Okay, next is string, and the array regarding to that string is also printed here. Now if you want to print a data type of it, then data type is also printed here. You can easily see that. And if you want to find the data type of an array, And for this purpose, there is a function type which basically returns the type of an array. So just write type, and then within parenthesis, if you just write name of the array, then basically it returns the data type of that array. Okay, just like that. And if you want to find the data type, then for that purpose d type is here, and if you want to find item size, then for that purpose name of the array dot item size, and item size will be returned just after that. And if you want to find certain element of an array, for example, if you want to find element at index position 0, then name of the array, and within a square bracket the position, then you can easily find out the element at that position. Now look at the output. This is the output, you can easily see here. So one, you can easily see that when we just write type of an ND array, then it basically return the type of array. Okay, look at the answer, type numpy ND array. So this is the basic difference between type and data type. So data type basically return the data type of an array, and type return the type of an array, not the data type. So basically when we just write type A1, it means what is the type of A1. What is A1? A1 is ND array. So the answer is ND array. Okay, look at the output here, you can easily see here. I think that rest all things are clear to all of you. Now next important topic is how to create numpy array. So there are basically 4 functions in which we already discussed one function array, but instead of array we can use frommeter, arrange, and line space. Okay, these functions also create numpy array. So let us make a program regarding to this. First of all, you can easily see here that this is the program which we already discussed here, and in this program our focus is to create an ND array using array function. Okay, so whether it is a tuple or list or string, we can convert this list, tuple, or string by using this we can convert this list, tuple, string into an array by using a function called array. And for this purpose we have to do only one thing, just pass this list, tuple, or string as a parameter value inside the array function. Okay, now our second topic is frommeter. So to use frommeter, first of all we have to use the name of the library in our program, that is numpy, then after put dot operator and then frommeter, because frommeter function belongs to numpy library. Okay, then as far as parameter is concerned, first parameter is iterable, second is dtype, and third is count, and default value of count is equal to -1. So what are the meaning of these three data type, these three parameters? First of all, iterable. Iterable is an object, or basically it is an iterable object providing data for the array. So whatever we provide the data for an array is here is just called iterable. Next is dtype. Dtype basically defines the data type or data type of the returned array. Next is count. Count is an optional. It basically number of the items to read from iterable, and default is -1, which means all data is read. Okay, so Now let us create a numpy array using fromiter function. First line is import numpy as np. Numpy is a library, import is a keyword, np is basically another name of numpy. We just rename numpy as np. So whenever we want to use numpy, so we use np in place of numpy. Okay. Next is there is a dictionary, and the name of the dictionary is edict, in which there are values, and these values are a, b, c, d, and key for these values are also given. Keys are 1, 2, 3, 4. So as we know that in dictionary always key value pair exist. Okay, so basically 4 pair exist in this dictionary: 1a, 2b, 3c, and 4d. Next, ASTR basically is a string, and string is APS Varanasi. Next is a list. A list basically is a list which contain basically 6 element: a, b, c, d, e, and f. And next is a tup, a tuple. So basically this contain 4 elements: 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5. Okay, so there is a dictionary, there is a string, there is a list, and there is a tuple. And here our focus is to convert these dictionaries, string, list, and tuple into an array using fromiter function. Okay, now list is also given, and name of the list is lst2, and definition is given here, as you can see on a screen, that a multiplied by 2 minus 3, and there is a loop which decides the value of a for a in range 2, 6. Okay, now it's time to create an array. So first array is nd1. So we just write for this nd1 is equal to np.fromiter. Fromiter is the name of the function, and we pass a dict as a parameter, which is basically a dictionary, and we also define the data type of it. So data type of it by using dtype parameter. So dtype is equal to np.int32. Okay, similarly another array nd2, and now this time we just pass a string as a parameter and define data type u2. Okay, next is nd3. So np.fromiter, now we just pass a list as a parameter and data type is u1. For string we can define u1 and u2 as a data type. Next is nd4. So nd4 is equal to np.fromiter, and we pass a parameter a tup, which is basically a tuple, and we define data type as u1 also in this case. Next is nd5. So nd5 we just write np.fromiter list lst2, which is basically a list, and we define data type as int16. So for this purpose we just write u type is equal to np.int16. Okay, if we don't define data type, then default data type is considered, so always remember that. So these are the different arrays which are basically created by using a dictionary, a string, a list, a tuple. Okay, now we just print all these. So print nd1, which is first array, our first array, nd2 is our second array, nd3 is third array, nd4 fourth array, and nd5 is our fifth array. And after execution of this program, this is our output. So the basic thing is that using fromiter function we are able to convert a dictionary, a list, or a tuple into an array. And when we just convert this list, tuple, or string into an array, So for this purpose, we have to write the name of the library first, that is NP in this case, which stands for basically numpy, and then after put dot operator, which is essential because if you want to use any function related to a library, then put dot operator just after the name of the library. Then name of the function is frommeter, and we have to pass the parameter inside it, inside the parenthesis sign. So if there is a string, if there is a list or a tuple, so first of all we have to just pass these list, string or tuple as a parameter, and after that we have to just put comma sign, and we have to write name of the data type by using d type parameter. Okay, so this is the syntax. Now I think it is clear to all of you that how to use frommeter function. Our next function is arrange function, which is also used to create a numpy array. So the arrange function is similar to the Python range function, and this function it returns an ND array in place of Python list written by range of the Python. So this is very similar to the range function. So the range function basically in Python returns a list, while arrange function returns a array, and this is the syntax of it. An example is also given here. Okay, in this first of all we have to give the name of the library, that is NP in this case, then dot operator, then after that name of the function, which is arrange in this case, and then three values must be given. These are start value, stop value, and step value, means increment or decrement, and after that data type. You can easily see that start, stop, and step. Start, stop, and step, 3S. Okay, so let us take an example to understand this. First of all, the first line is import numpys and NP, and here one thing is also be important, that if you don't give a start and a step value, then default values are considered. Okay, so let us take an example. First line is import numpys and NP, and in this basically in this line basically we just import a library numpy and rename the numpy as NP. So now if we want to use numpy in our program, then we use NP in place of numpy. Okay, first line, a1 is equal to np dot arrange 7. As you can easily see here that only a single value is given, and no data type is also mentioned in arrange function. So default data type is considered, but only a single value is given, and we have to give three values: start, stop, and step. So 7 is basically the stop value. So only when there is only single value given, then it is considered as a stop value. Okay, in this case start and step values are considered as a default values. So for default, step is equal to 1 and start is the first value. Always remember that. In second case, as you can see here, a2 is equal to np dot arrange 1 comma 7. So start and stop value is given and step value is not given, which is by default 1. Next is a3 is equal to np dot arrange 1 comma 7 comma 2. So start value is given, stop value is given, and step value is also given, but data type is not given. In this case, data type is considered as a default data type. In A4, default data type is not given here because the D type is used. D type is np float 32. So all the parameters are given here. 1 is the start value, 7 is the stop value, 2 is the step value, and data type is given as float 32. So one thing should be always remember that when start value is not given, then first value is the start value. When step value is not given, then by default step value is 1, and at least there is a single value which is given inside the arrange, and that is considered as a stop value. And if data type is not given, then default data type is considered in that case. Okay, now you can easily see that print a1, print a2, print a3, print a4, we just print the different arrays, and a1, a2, a3, a4 are different arrays. So in this case you can easily see that in first case element of an array are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, now look at the first array. In first array a1 only step value is given, which is 7. Okay, so counting always start from 0. So you can easily see that first value is 0, second is 1, third is 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6. Always remember that last or stop value is not considered at all. So basically counting starts from 0 and goes up to stop -1. Okay, so you can easily see here that in this case from 0 to 6 all values are printed. In next case you can easily see that 1 comma 7 is given, so counting start from 1 and goes up to 6, means stop -1. And in third case 1 comma 7 comma 2, so there is an increment of 2, so counting start from 1, then after that 1 plus 2 we get 3, so 3 will be printed, then 3 plus 2 5 will be printed, 5 plus 2 7 will not be printed at all, because last value, maximum last value is up to 6. So we can use 6 as a last value, but last value is not part of the definition of this arrange method, arrange function. Okay, so only 3 values are printed, 1, 3 and 5. Now case number 4. In this we just write np.float32 as a data type. So you can easily see that data type is changed. In our previous cases data type is integer, which is by default, and in this case it is float 32, and the definition is 1 comma 7 comma 2, so counting start from 1 and goes up to 6, and there is an increment of 2 in each case. So first value is 1 point, which is a float value, second is 3 point, and last is 5 point. I think it is clear to all of you. So basically what happens in this case, that arrange is a function used to create a numpy array in which we have to pass 4 parameters. Okay, and at least we have to pass stop value, because if we don't pass start value or increment or decrement, which is a step value, or d type, then default values are considered in that case. So first is an example in which we just give only a single value which is considered as a stop value. And second important thing is that counting always goes up to stop -1. So 7 is there, so last value must be 6. Okay, in case of default increment 1, and counting always start from 0, so 0 to 6 all values are printed here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in second case counting start from 1 and last value is 6, of course, so the values are 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. In next case default step value is given as 2, so there is increment of 2. So first value start from 1, and there is increment 1 plus 2 3, then 3 plus 2 5, and 5 plus 2 7 is not considered because last limit is 6. Okay, and in last case data type is given as float 32, so all values are converted into float 32. So this is all about our today's lecture. In our next lecture we will discuss some more functions regarding to NumPy array. Thanks for watching this video.